Why don't people go to church anymore? It's a question that's been on the minds of many, particularly in the United States and Western Europe. If we take a step back and observe the pattern of the past decade, it becomes evident that there has been a notable decline in church attendance and religious affiliation in these regions. We can't ignore the fact that there has been a waning trust in organized religion. The once unwavering faith in the church and its institutions seems to be faltering. The reasons behind this decrease in trust are varied and complex, often deeply personal and rooted in individual experiences. Parallel to this, a striking rise in the number of individuals identifying as non-religious has been observed. This doesn't necessarily indicate a lack of faith or spirituality, but rather a shift in how it is experienced and expressed. More and more people are choosing to forego traditional religious practices in favor of a more personal spiritual journey. This shift towards personal spirituality over traditional religious practices is another significant factor contributing to the dwindling numbers in church attendance. And then there's the younger generation. The millennials and Gen Z in particular seem to be less connected to religious institutions. They're more likely to identify as atheist or agnostic, and less likely to adhere to traditional religious practices. This disconnect between the youth and the church poses a major challenge for religious institutions, necessitating a need for adaptation to changing societal norms and preferences. So we find ourselves in the midst of a significant shift. A shift in how people experience and express their faith, a shift in trust, and a shift in generational attitudes towards religion. It's clear that the landscape of religious practice is changing, but what's driving these changes? As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll attempt to unpack some of these driving forces behind the shift in religious attendance. Let's delve deeper into the demographics. The younger generations, particularly millennials and Gen Z, are less connected to religious institutions. This isn't just a passing phase or a rebellious stage, it's a profound shift in the way young people perceive and engage with faith. They are more likely to identify as atheist or agnostic than their parents or grandparents. This is not necessarily an outright rejection of spirituality, but rather a shift towards personal spirituality over traditional religious practices. Now, let's consider the challenges churches are currently grappling with. Attracting and retaining younger members is proving to be a complex puzzle. It's not just about the modernization of services or the digitization of sermons. It's about understanding the changing values, attitudes and behaviors of the younger generations. Young people today are more likely to question the status quo, to seek authenticity, and to value experiences over rituals. They are less trusting of institutions, including religious ones, and are more inclined to embark on their own spiritual journeys. Moreover, the rise of the internet and social media has changed the way people connect and communicate. Younger generations are used to having information, communities and platforms at their fingertips. They're less inclined to attend a physical church when they can explore faith and spirituality online. It's not just about the decline in church attendance, it's about the changing face of faith. Churches need to recognize this and find ways to engage with young people on their terms. This might mean rethinking the way they deliver their message, fostering open discussions about faith and doubt, or creating spaces where young people feel seen and heard. With these shifts in generational attitudes, churches are faced with the need to adapt to changing societal norms and preferences. So, where does this leave the future of church attendance? With the challenges we've discussed, it's clear that adaptation is necessary. The decline in church attendance and religious affiliation, particularly among the younger generations, calls for religious institutions to reevaluate their approach. To regain trust and attract these younger generations, churches may need to employ various strategies grounded in understanding and adapting to evolving societal norms and preferences. One potential strategy could be to embrace the shift towards personal spirituality. This might involve creating spaces and opportunities for individual exploration of faith, rather than strictly adhering to traditional practices. It could also mean fostering an environment that encourages questioning and doubt as part of the faith journey, rather than seeing these as threats to religious belief. Furthermore, churches could aim to be more inclusive and reflective of diverse perspectives. This might involve acknowledging and addressing the concerns and criticisms raised by younger generations. It could also mean actively seeking to understand and respond to the diverse needs, values and experiences of their potential congregation. In addition, churches might consider leveraging technology to reach out to the younger demographic. This could involve creating online platforms for engagement and discussion, offering virtual services, or utilizing social media to connect with and understand the concerns of younger generations. However, it's important to remember that these are just potential strategies. The key to successful adaptation lies in truly understanding the changing societal norms and preferences and being willing to respond to these changes in a meaningful and respectful way. In essence, the future of church attendance is not set in stone. It's a dynamic landscape, one that requires constant exploration, understanding and adaptation. The challenges are significant, but so too are the opportunities for growth and renewal. The future of church attendance is uncertain, but with understanding and adaptation, religious institutions can strive to reconnect with those who have drifted away. Now, we've covered a lot of ground today, but what do you think about this shift in church attendance? As we navigate this shifting landscape of faith and spirituality, it's important to remember that every perspective adds a unique piece to the puzzle. In the midst of change, the value of individual experiences and thoughts cannot be overstated. How does all this information resonate with your own experiences? Have you noticed changes in your own religious practices or in the practices of those around you? Perhaps you've seen these trends firsthand in your community, or maybe your experience defies the statistics. It could be that you felt the pull towards a more personal spirituality, or you found a new connection within a religious institution. Whatever your experience may be, it's an essential part of this ongoing conversation on the future of church attendance. It's through our shared stories and insights that we can better understand these shifts and navigate the path forward. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts and experiences of attending a church. Your voice matters in this conversation.